Bent Pyramid was told to me by one of my mentors who was a homegrown Egyptologist that passed away a couple years ago, unfortunately, bless his soul. It's a diagnostics tool. And so inside the Bent Pyramid, which I've climbed all the way to the apex from the inside. Have you been to the inside, gone all the way to the top?
I haven't visited the Bent Pyramid.
Okay.
I've only been to Giza.
When you get into the top and you look over, you get to see down to this other, I guess you want to call it a room. And in that area, he said, if somebody was sick or injured, they would be brought into this one chamber, which I've climbed into. It took 140 people in there in groups. There's another area would be full of water. And then they would gong this stone and it would create this resonance that would vibrate throughout all the different other chambers. And the person at top, they call him the priest, he would look over and he would see almost like an x-ray of the person's body. I know it sounds fanciful, but that's what was said. If you look at the Bent Pyramid and you look at the Pyramid of the Sun side by side, it's the same exact structure.
Okay. So yes, it does sound unreasonable. It sounds kind of outlandish because in this society, they like to push science. And if this was something that could be recreated, I'm sure it would have. But I'm not here to debate whether or not what these pyramids were used for. I'm not here to debate or to even debunk if it was a power source, if they had power tools. Hey man, I mean, it really doesn't matter. But what does matter is when he starts talking about who created them. So this brother right here, he is a very well-known brother in the flat earth realm. He talks a lot about flat earth and a lot of different conspiracy theories. And he's a well-spoken brother, very poised. He's very articulate, intelligent. I appreciate the brother for that. I wish I could have this type of poise and intelligence, but I don't. But what I do know is that the pyramids did not come from no damn aliens. And I'm gonna prove that in a minute. And that's what I'm here to do, is because brothers like this, the thing that the danger about brothers like that is that, you know, it's kind of like a car salesman or a professor. They could just sell you anything and then you just believe it. But then when you get into the real world, you drive off the lot. Now the damn car don't start. It's putt-putting and all that. You learn from other books that what you learn from your professor isn't true. Like, people who talk well are dangerous for those that are coming up to learn. And that's what this channel was here for, is to bypass all the BS that a lot of these smooth talkers give us, and to give you the truth of what's really going on and how to maneuver and how to tell what's what, and pretty much just to prove the truth is there, but we gotta just know where to get it from and who to learn it from. But let's just keep going.
Bent Pyramid and the Pyramid
of the Sun in Teotihuacan, Mexico.
Got it.
Right? Very similar shape.
Yeah.
Now, this one here, the one in the sun, or the one in the desert, so that's in Egypt. And then we have the one over on the right, which is in Mexico. So if you do not know, it's not a coincidence that there are pyramids all over the world. It's not a coincidence that there's pyramids in Africa and pyramids in Mexico and pyramids in South America and pyramids in Asia. It's not a coincidence. Pyramids in Europe. It's not a coincidence. It wasn't like, oh, we all just got a different idea in how to build pyramids. No, these came from the same people. The same people built these pyramids, okay? The people of the captivity in this society, which would be the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, built these pyramids. These are not pyramids built by aliens, okay? And I'm gonna prove it. But we're gonna just let them keep talking. But the reason why there's a pyramid in Mexico is because the Mexicans are Israelites. The reason why there's a pyramid in Egypt or in Africa is because the Israelites was in slavery in Africa. Okay? But let's just keep going.
But the shape isn't an accident.
It's not the exact same, but I hear what you're saying.
The angle, the change of the angle, the look, the feel of it, you kind of get the idea.
Now, the argument for the 1 and 2 with Khan is they're going to say that this would create the most structural integrity. Whereas the bent pyramid, I think that they say that they were using like mud blocks, right? And didn't
those stones are limestone, and this
the
thing
bent
is,
pyramid?
Yeah.
My understanding was that it was kind of collapsing under its own weight.
No,
or something like that.
The bent. I'm doing a whole show on this.
I believe, yeah.
The bent pyramid, you see those areas on the corner that are dark and all kind of chewed up? When you go up right on them, you notice that they're actually burnt. They're charred. And then there's a debris field coming off of the corner down into where the sand is. And I have some of the samples that we had looked at, those samples of charred stone, burnt stone. And what's gonna burn and char that stone and create these explosions? There's another area around the other side.
Now, I'm not an archaeologist. And that's one thing I could appreciate with the brother. He actually went to the damn pyramid. I've never been to the pyramid. So I'm not here to deny what he says is there. Could they be burnt? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long ash lasts on rock. I don't know how long ash or how deep ash goes into a rock that it can still be showing over thousands of years. I don't know, okay? That's not what I'm here to debunk. But I appreciate that the brother did go out to these things and saw them.
Where a huge piece of it's been blown off. You can see that it's hit and it's blown out, not collapsing. And so what would make that amount of debris fly that far away from the pyramid? If something collapses, it falls straight down.
Yeah.
This stuff goes up and out. And you can kind of calculate the trajectory. You go, oh man, something impacted this. A projectile impacted this pyramid. So it's another remnant of an ancient war, in my opinion, that same war that I told you about earlier. But the pyramid is like that by design.
So you're saying that these pyramids were power systems?
Not all of them. This one was supposed to be, according to my source, a diagnostics tool.
But the
crazy that it could be a diagnostics tool so large, it would take so much time to make, to just run some diagnostics. But I'm not gonna say, I'm not here to debate that.
The Great Pyramid of Giza was a power system.
Power plant, yes.
I've heard this before.
And there's been books written about this by engineers.
Yeah, and how would it function as a power plant?
Well, it functions well. Like I said, running water underneath granite creates physiostatic electricity.
Yeah.
In the area that you walked up, that Grand Gallery, there's these slots on the side.
Okay.
And we estimate, or we
I would love to see this. If he says that running water underneath granite creates electricity, I would love to see that. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe, but this is just his word. I'm just supposed to just take it because it sounds good. But I feel as if it did, we would probably be using that to create energy. But that's just me.
What communication method do we use right now, like at SETI and in modern technology, astrophysics, to try to communicate with ET? We transmit information on the hydrogen frequency because it's the most abundant frequency in the universe. So in my opinion, this is my own hypothesis. Now, see, I always tell you the difference between text and my hypothesis. On those alignments, we would transmit information to those star systems, updates on our breakaway civilization, to our other.
So they were not using it as a power system.
They use it as both. It's a multifunctional stone computer and a power generator.
So it's a power generator for Egypt, whatever.
Hey man, like I said, I'm not here to debate if it is or it isn't, but if it is a multifunctional stone computer, whoever made that shit must have been the bomb. I'm just saying, whoever made it must have been the greatest people on earth. I don't know if it was a multi-functional computer, stone computer system or not. But if it was, whoever made it must be the best people on earth.
They were doing, okay. And then it's also a communication device for other galaxies.
Correct. That's my personal opinion. Other star systems, not galaxies.
Sorry, other star systems.
Yeah, right.
Well, isn't a galaxy a star system?
Well, our Milky Way galaxy has trillions of star systems inside of it. So,
got it.
Yeah. And there's
got
trillions.
it. The galaxy has the star systems. And each star system, we are within one star system. Got it.
And how is the Ark of the Covenant related to this?
Well, when the Great Pyramid, for some reason, stopped producing enough power, they took the Ark of the Covenant and they created that rose granite box inside the king's chamber, and they put it inside of there.
What is the Ark of the Covenant?
It's a power generating technology. How do we know this? Because
But what is it? What do people think it is? I've heard the Ark of the Covenant.
I think
What does
it's
that
this
mean?
holy thing that existed that, just protected the Hebrews and protected them from the Pharaoh. It's a lot more than that. When you begin to read even the biblical text, you discover it was technology. The person that handled it had to have on rubber boots, right? It's electric. You had to have on special rubber gloves. You had to have on these breastplates to help diffract some of the radiation that was coming out of it. And if you didn't have that stuff on and you touched it, you die instantly. People thought it was holy and magical. No, it's just technology. You're getting shocked.
Okay, so we're not having no rubber. Okay. Yes, you did have to have on a certain tire to be able to handle it. Only the Levites could handle it. And if you did touch it without you being authorized to do so, yes, you would die. That is true. When the Canaanites had it, they was dying over there. They was getting boils and stuff. They're like, oh shoot, get this thing back to the Israelites, because we getting all jacked up with this. So that part is true. We wasn't wearing rubber, but we did have to have certain garments on to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, the descriptions of this thing, sending out lightning bolts and all this stuff and vibrations and buzzes, it's electrical. So some scientists at a university in America reproduced it utilizing the same instructions in the biblical text.
Reproduce what?
The Ark of the Covenant. And guess what? It generated so much power they had to shut it down.
Hey man, but I know BS when I hear it. It generated so much power, we had to shut it down. Why? Was the earth about to explode? Was the city about to explode? Well, why was it just so much? Why we had to shut it down? What do you mean by that? I hear what he's saying. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. So I did a little research on that. Can't really find nothing. Found like high school kids trying to replicate it. I found maybe someone overseas. There was some high school kids in Kansas. I didn't see any college or scientists in America that were really trying to replicate it. Okay, I don't know where this brother got it from, but again, these things come from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that you could just replicate because you read a book. The Bible is a spiritual book. It's not a book of just literature and knowledge. It's a spiritual book. You can't just pick it up and understand it. You can't just pick it up and recreate shit. You understand? So, I don't know if there's any proof to this right here, but I know that the so-called white man don't invent powerful things and just let it go. No, they control that shit. So now, do I agree that there was probably some nuclear stuff going on in the Ark of the Covenant? Probably, okay, but to be recreating it, I don't think so.
What?
The Ark of the Covenant. And guess what? It generated so much power they had to shut it down. And anyone can Google that, look up the experiment and watch the videos on YouTube of them doing it. It's real. It was technology. And that's what was inside of the stone box. How do I know? It's the same exact dimensions as the Ark of the Covenant. And that's what happened when Moses, AKA probably Akhenaten, I think it was really the person, fled Egypt. He had, it wasn't slaves building the pyramids, by the way. Just take the slave thing out of your mind. There was no slaves building pyramids.
We got it on the wall. There's slaves on the wall building the pyramids. What are you talking about? Brother, there's imagery on the walls of slaves building the pyramids, bro. I mean, I don't know what it would need to take for this, brother, but I mean, these are the slaves that are building the pyramids. How can I make this bigger? These are slaves building the pyramids, bro. They black with afros, okay? So-called black man was slave to the Egyptians. Here go another one. These are clearly the slaves. Shut the hell up. Clearly the slaves, Negro slaves being whipped. These are on the pyramids, bro. Stop with the foolishness, man. Y'all want to believe in aliens so much that y'all just go crazy about this shit. You know it's slaves Look. So these are the Egyptians. They look totally different, don't they? They look like they living good and lavishly. Then they got their guys next to them. Then you go here, look at these niggas. Look at the Negroes here. They don't look like they living lavishly. They damn near butt naked. These are the slaves, bro. Damn near butt naked. Stop with the lies and the foolishness, all right? Here go another one. Negro slave. This is on the walls. The walls where he said they had the lights and the power tools. This is on the wall. Are they not building? Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop with the foolishness. This is why this brother is an agent of disinformation. And it's not okay for, uneducated people to just be listening to this brother because it seems as if he know what he's talking about. It seems as if it sounds good. Everyone want to believe anything except for what they've learned. And I get it because there's a lot of lies that we've learned. But there's a lot of truths that we have learned as well. Everything is not a lie. Everything is not a conspiracy, okay? There are some things that are lies, and there are some things that are conspiracies. But there are some things that we learn that are just true. And the slaves built the pyramids, and we're gonna prove it.
Happened. People were building and working on the pyramids because they were honoring the gods. There were no Hebrew slaves in Egypt building pyramids. Nowhere does it even say that. There's records of the payroll and even the medical expenses to help people out who got injured or hurt at the job site.
Sure, the slave master that might have got hurt or the taskmaster that got hurt, he was getting paid. So there might have been some medical expenses. But you're not gonna tell me that we wasn't in Egypt building the damn pyramids. Matter of fact, let's just get to it, man. Let's just get to it, man. We're gonna prove that what he talking about. All right, so it's the book of First Maccabees in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, chapter 13 and verse 27. It reads, Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site with hewn stone behind and before. So he's building a big monument, okay? Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren. The Israelites built pyramids, bro. The Israelites built pyramids, period, point blank. And this is the Bible. There's no need for them to be lying because the Bible was written to each other. The Bible is written by the Israelites to the Israelites. No need to lie to each other, okay? They built the pyramids, bro. Let's keep going. The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 11. Let's prove that. Chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, therefore, they did set over them taskmasters. That's the Egyptians. You read verse 1, it says, we got to do something about these Israelites. There's too many of them, and they greater than I. They're great. You know what? Let's just go to it, bro. Let's just go to it. The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. These brothers is better than us. They stronger than us. They got more numbers than us. What the hell going on here? They smarter than us? More intelligent than us? What's happening here? It says, come on and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto other enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. They like, hey man, if they ever come to the conclusion that they are slaves and they shouldn't be slaves and they really should be running the whole world, we're gonna be in trouble. We gotta get them up out of here. It says, therefore did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with burdens, and they build for Pharaoh treasured cities for Python and Ramses. That's the damn pyramids. That's the obelisk. Okay, that's what we find over there in Egypt today. That's the treasure cities. Why is it treasure? Because no one can figure out how the hell they did it. No one can figure out how the hell they mapped it to the damn constellations. No one can understand it. No one can replicate it. You understand? The Egyptians knew what they had. They knew what they had as a slave. These are the most intelligent people on the planet. We got to put their ass to work. We built the pyramids. The so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, we built the pyramids, period. Point blank. All right, so now we in a book of Psalms, chapter 105 and verse 17. It says, he sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant, whose feet they hurt with fetters. He was laid in iron until the time that his word came. The word of the Lord tried him. The king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. He made him lord of his house and ruler of his substance, to bind his princes at his pleasure and teach his senators wisdom. Right, so verse 22 is saying that to bind his princes at his pleasure and teach his senators wisdom. We taught the Egyptians wisdom. All the little Book of the Dead and all that bullshit they got, man, they got that from us. They heard our stories and then started making their own damn stories. We didn't get it from them. We taught them wisdom. We taught them knowledge because we had all the knowledge because we were the sons of God. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the sons of God, and the Israelites are the ones that had the knowledge to build the pyramids. You understand that? We did not learn from them, and it wasn't no damn aliens. But let's keep going. He gonna have one more other point I want to touch on.
The temples, and that stuff is in the museums. It's all documented, so it's not just me saying that. But Akhenaten started bringing in the one God religion, the monotheistic religion. He's the first one to bring that in. We're gonna worship the great Amen Ra. He started.
Okay, so he says that he thinks that Akhenaten was Moses. Well, Moses did not start preaching the one and only God. Okay, the Israelites already knew about that before they got to Moses. So this is why these brothers like this, there has to be someone that knows enough knowledge to go against these brothers, because there are people out here thinking that, oh, the Bible was fake and there was other books and other religions that are better and that the Bible is the white man book. No, the Bible is a so-called black man's history book. And this brother right here either don't know it or don't care or has been paid to go against it. And that is why I'm making a video to show you that no, we are the Israelites. We built them damn pyramids. We were the best thing on the planet and everyone knew it, including the Egyptians. And the reason why there's a pyramid everywhere there was Israelites is because we knew how to do it. No one else did. We knew how to do it. That's why there's no new pyramids coming up.
Telling his people to go around and deface all the other gods, erase them from history, chisel them all away. That's why when you go to Egypt, you see all those chiseled faces away, all the noses broken off and all that. It's not because, I hate to say it, but it's a fact. It's not because white people didn't want to know that, let us know that black people were in Egypt. That's not true. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's not true. I've been there long enough to know, and I know enough history to know when the white people actually arrived there, these things were broken before
they even got there.
The Bible does not say chip away their faces. It says to burn the other gods with fire. Destroy it. Not to knock off the nose, okay? You read that in Deuteronomy 7:25. We're not going to go there. Leviticus 19:4 and Isaiah 30. You know, there's a lot of places where it tells you to destroy it, okay? And to burn it with fire. But it don't say to chip no damn nose.
Yeah. So there's enough noses that still exist, by the way, that are on display that tell you, well, wait a minute, if these are just as old and these still have noses, then these never got beat up. But anyway, the point is, he then took these people and created his own following, his own cult following. They all wanted to worship one God. And Amen said, there'll be no other God but me, because I'm a jealous God. That made it into the Bible, right? And
brother, you know how many gods is over there in Egypt? There's hundreds of gods that the Egyptians worshipped, okay? So stop with this foolishness that this brother is talking about, oh, the Egyptians started to want to serve and because he's a jealous guy. Man, come on, man. Stop it. Anything that's man-made ain't no damn jealous God. All the different religions got multiple gods. Okay? No matter if you're talking about Islam, Allah was a god from multiple gods. They just chose him. Now he was the moon god, but they just chose it. But he came from a bunch of gods. Whether it's Hinduism, they got a bunch of gods. Anything that has to do with paganism, they got a bunch of gods, okay? The Native Americans, when they went into idolatry, what was they serving? A bunch of gods, okay? So don't try to tell me something different. The Celtic religions, multiple gods. Stop with the foolish. This is why this is a brother of disinformation. He's not trying to miseducate you. He definitely ain't trying to educate you, but give you some disinformation to steer you off to something else so that you never come to the knowledge of the truth. Because we just love to hear anything that's outside of what the white man has taught. And yes, the white man has taught a lot of lies, but he has taught a lot of truths as well. Everything is not a conspiracy, brother.
He then decides to take his people, because now the politics are like, we got to get this guy out of here. He's destroying our history. He says, okay, I'll leave. I'm taking my people with me. He goes into the Great Pyramid and takes the Ark of the Covenant with him and takes that out into the desert. This is why he had to chase him down. You just lift it up and take it out. As long as you have the boots on, I mean, it's clear instructions on how to do it.
Oh, I thought it was like enclosed.
No, it's not enclosed. Okay. It's just like a lift up thing with two handles on each side.
Oh, okay.
They took it out of the king's chamber. The new pharaoh said, man, that's our power source.
Why the hell? Okay. Let's just think about this logically. Because when we can read the account of Moses fleeing, it was not just, it wasn't even that they even got let go. You understand that? The Lord brought 10 plagues on the Egyptians, okay? The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. It wasn't that Moses went up into the chamber and said, okay, I'll leave, but I'm taking my shit with me. What king or pharaoh would just let you do that? What king just let you take the power source? And then he's like, oh man, that's our power source. Let's go get these niggas. No, that doesn't even make no sense. Does not make any sense. We got to stop with the foolishness. Stop with the, just because the brother talks smooth, it must be true. No, this is foolishness. Talking about he got that, the Bible took that story. Be quiet, bro.
So it was justified to chase him.
Yeah, like if he takes that, we lose all, we're going back into the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
Then why let him take it? It would be war. We didn't go to war with the Egyptians. We didn't go to war.
That's the power source. We gotta get this guy now.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about. The power source.
Oh, wow. But he ended up getting away with it.
He got away with it. Yeah. With that one, there were a few more. There were 2 more Arks of the Covenant, but they didn't have one.
Who had them?
Well, there was one in China and one in Mesoamerica.
What did they make with it in China?
Nobody knows. Yeah. You know, they got 3 pyramids in China that match the same.
No, nobody knows. But they had an ark. We don't know what they do. How you know they had an ark then?
Orion alignment as the Great Pyramids and the alignment that we have at Giza on the Giza Plateau.
Can you bring that up?
Yeah, bring up the China pyramids aligned with Orion.
So who were the group of people that built the pyramids?
These were the Atlantean people. Yeah.
We got to make sure, the Atlantean people. These were the people that the aliens came down and impregnated and put their DNA into their genes, and then they was the one that was able to build the pyramid. Brother, stop it, bro. Just stop it. The so-called black man creates everything on the planet today. All the good music, all the good fashion, all the good experiments, all come from so-called black men. You wouldn't have a society without us. We've been building shit since we got here. So the fact that we saying that the aliens built the pyramids, like, bro, we've been building shit since we got here. Okay? We've been inventing things since we got here. Why? Because we are the best thing that the Lord created. He created 18 different nations. The nation that he loved the best was the Israelites. He gave them all the knowledge. He gave them all the wisdom. That's what the Bible was about. It's giving you all that you need to be able to be better and above and wiser than all people on the planet. The issue was they didn't want to listen to it. They wanted to do their own thing. They wanted to be like the other nation. So the Lord said, all right, well then you're going to go into slavery. And that's how it's going to go. And that's why we end up in slavery. It's not because nobody is better than us, stronger than us, faster than us, more knowledgeable in war than us. No, it's because the Lord sent them against us. And if the Lord wants you to do something, you're going to do it. Period, point blank.
They had humans working on the pyramids because, I mean,
Did he just say there wasn't no slaves working on the pyramids? And then he just say that the Atlanteans built the pyramids? Oh, but now there's some humans.
if I own a construction company and then I have a master architect, underneath then I have a foreman, underneath them then I have the workers.
The slaves! Come on, man. The brother just spelled it out for you. You got the task, you got the project planners, you got the task masters making sure that the slaves or the workers are doing what they're supposed to do. Period.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. So the workers are doing work under the tutelage and utilizing tools in the way that we have taught them.
And when you on site, even as a project manager or as a task manager, you might get hurt. There might be some mistakes happen. You might trip over something. You might fall. And that's why they probably had the funds to do the medical stuff. But that doesn't mean that the slaves wasn't working on the damn pyramid. And he just contradicted himself right there.
But at the end of the day, it's the master blueprint coming from one master architect. There you go. China's on the left right there. The Xi'an pyramids.
They're called the what?
The Xi'an, Xian. You see those three? They're perfectly aligned with Orion. The next one is the Teotihuacan, perfectly aligned with Orion. And the third one, obviously, is the pyramids of Egypt, perfectly aligned with Orion as well. So one master architect.
Now, a traditional mainstream scientist would look at this and go, of course, we're going to align these structures with the three brightest stars in the galaxy, right?
Yeah.
And if there was nothing to read back then, there was nothing to watch, there's no TikTok, there's no Instagram. Yeah. The coolest thing going on is the night sky.
Right.
And when you look up in the night sky, you start making shit out. Oh, that's Ryan's belt. This is a whale. This is a giraffe, whatever it is. Okay, so that's what the traditional mainstream philosopher or scientist would say. Can we see the just pictures of the pyramids not aligned, just like face on? I never knew that there are these pyramids in China.
It's hard to get
access to them.
It's hard to get access to the face on lot, because China doesn't want them out. They don't even let people visit them.
Why is that?
They're keeping them sacred. See, there goes one there. They've got it nicely covered with some nice trees.
Yeah, did they plant these trees?
It looks like
they planted them. Yeah, they covered them with dirt and planted trees on top of them.
And why do they want to plant? Why do they want to cover this? What benefit would that be?
They just don't want people to know that
there was an advanced civilization.
Yeah, exactly. The more cover up, more.
The Chinese pyramids and the pole star. That's not beneath the pyramid?
So I'm gonna tell you why China does not want you to know about these pyramids and why they're covering them up, because they understand that the slaves built them. Okay? And China does not want you to know that they had slaves. They are embarrassed about that shit. They do not want anyone to know about it. They don't want them to bring it up because it's a disgrace. It's kind of admitting that they were inferior to the slave. They needed the slaves to do something great. So, and let's prove that. So, this is a book called The Chinese Jews, 1000 to 1850. Okay, so these are not the Jewish man, the original dark-skinned Jews. Okay, all right, so first page. I am convinced that we are not only the same people, but the same tribe, Saul continued. You know, Jews came to China, countries before the Christian era. This is before the white man. That's what he's telling you. The Christians here are the white man. It's saying that there was Jews, as in the dark-skinned people, that were brought to China, okay, more than 300 years ago, when their descendants were discovered in Kaifeng by the Jesuits. So by the white people. The Jesuits is the white priests, okay? The priests of the false Messiah. What's the false Messiah? The white Jesus. That's the false Messiah. They were the priests of the false Messiah. Yes, what the white man taught us about the Bible was false, but what's in the Bible is true. And what happened was they just didn't teach what was in the Bible. Okay? They taught a narrative that they wanted you to believe. They bore surnames that seem wholly Chinese. Chow, Chin, among a few others. Li too, but Li is of course Levi, okay? So these are the people, they had holy names. These names that they have now are just stolen, okay? The Great Wall of China is one of the most impressive feats of engineering and human labor in history. I bet you that brother want to tell me that the aliens built the Great Wall of China. No, we've been building and inventing since we got here, spanning over 13,000 miles. The wall was built over centuries to protect the Chinese Empire from invaders. Though the wall is often associated with the Qing Dynasty, 221 to 206 BCE, it was actually built and extended by many dynasties that followed. Slavery was commonplace in China during the time of the Great Wall was being constructed. It is estimated that as many as 2 million slaves were used to build the wall. These slaves were often treated harshly, working long hours in difficult conditions. Many of them died during the construction process. And they're not talking about there were some Chinese slaves. No, you don't treat your own people like that. Despite the arduous labor and brutal conditions, the slaves who built the Great Wall of China left behind an impressive legacy. Their hard work and sacrifice helped to create one of the most iconic structures in the world. This is the so-called black man doing, okay? When you talk about harsh conditions and dying, those is nigger slaves, okay? Those are the so-called Negroes. That's not their own people. Indentured servants did not damn near die from working for their own people, okay? He talking about, they don't want to let us know because they want to keep it sacred. They don't believe in that stuff anyway. Let's see. Canton. 20,000 Chinese Jews. There was Jews in China. There were black people in China. There were slaves in China. Let's see. Over here. Mongol Jews. Persecuted by Christians. That's persecuted by the white folks. We was over there. We was over there, bro. We was over there. We was the real Jews is black, bro. They're not white, okay? They are black. You understand? And when it's talking about slaves, it's talking about us, okay? One from a book, an old book. The Tang emperors, 618 AD to 960 AD, were great admirers of Korean women. For imperial harems, dwarves and pygmies were prized human cargo, as were black slaves. Okay, there was black slaves over in China. Okay, from the east coast of Africa. Where's the pyramid? Where's the pyramids of Giza? East coast of Africa, where we was at enslaved. Okay, we're gonna read this little piece here. It says the extent of China's slaves. The extent of China's slave trade is difficult to determine. Why? Because they want to keep it away. They don't want to admit that they had slaves. African slaves were treated little better than beasts of burden. They were made to lift heavy weights, and because the Chinese believed they swam without blinking their eyes, were employed as divers to repair leaking boats. Many must have died soon after arriving to China. But if they do not die, one can keep them. And after having been kept a long time, they began to understand the language of human beings, though themselves cannot speak it. So there were slaves, okay? There were black slaves that China had. And the reason why they don't want you to know that shit about that pyramid is because they had to tell you who built it. which we have to tell you also who built the one in Egypt, which also tells you who built the ones in the Americas. Okay? There's pyramids in the North Americas. There's pyramid in Central America. There's pyramids in South America. Everywhere that there's Israelites, there's pyramids, okay? So I'm gonna leave it with that. When the brothers is talking about pyramids, hey, I'm not here to debate what they're used for. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have nothing to do with us today. But who built them mugs? Everything to do with the so-called black man. Because we the ones that built it. You understand? We the ones that gave wisdom to the Egyptians. The Egyptians did not give no damn wisdom to us. Stop this foolishness. Stop all this BS. We are the greatest thing on the planet. Then and now. And everyone knows it. That's why they steal every idea from us. That's why they steal all of our culture, all of our habits, all of our fashion, all of our music. They steal it. And they patent it and try to cover us up like we just ain't nothing. But that's what the Bible said will happen to the true Jews. So when this brother is speaking all eloquently, just know he's not speaking the truth. He's speaking some nonsense that he fabricated and made up and wanted to put together as some type of class or seminar on it. But this isn't anything that is true. The so-called black man or the Israelites, they are the ones that created, built, and implemented those pyramids. Whatever they were used for, we the ones that built it. And we saw the scriptures, and it's just obvious that what he's saying, especially about the Ark of the Covenant, is just not true. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't go with, logic of how kings work. They're not gonna let you take the damn power source, okay? Anyway, all right, y'all, let me know what y'all think about that. I just wanted to debunk this real quick, because a lot of, even this brother here with the orange hat, he seemed to be into it. Brother, wake the hell up, okay? You're not woke. You're sitting next to your enemy. And though, I'm not here to tell you to hate nobody, but the Lord says to not trust your enemy, ever. Never trust your enemy. You sit next to him, you're making him feel good with all this rhetoric about these different philosophies that you have, that you came up with, and it's really causing confusion for those so-called blacks that really want to know the truth, but they're getting this information right here. So, all right, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm out. Peace.